It's a perfect situation to make musical sounds.
Hello, this is Liz. Welcome to Fabric Friday. This is what could be used as a bed runner. In my case, I'll be using this as a wall hanging. It's about 76 inches long by 36 inches wide. And I've finally finished quilting it a few weeks ago. So now I'm going to bind it. Because it's going to be a wall hanging, it's not going to be handled as much as a bed quilt, say. And it's not going to be washed as often as one of them can be. So you don't really need double the fabric on it. So I have cut out a strip 1 3/4 inches wide by width of fabric, and I've cut 5 of them out so far, and I think that'll go all the way around. And I've sewn them together exactly, thread, I've sewn them together exactly how I did in last week's episode for a quilt binding. So now I'm going to show you how I sew it on. This is my quilt, and I'm sewing it on, the binding on exactly the same as I did in last week's quilt binding. The back of the quilt is this. I don't particularly like this fabric. Some of you may do, but I thought it's going to be a wall hanging for me. It's going to be against the wall. No one's going to see it, so let's use it up. So basically you put your binding right sides together with the back of your quilt, or in my case a wall hanging. Line up your raw edges right. It's pulling on my desk. That's better. So I now want about 1/4 inch, thereabouts, and just start stitching. That's where my edge of my quilt is. Same as last week. Turn and head to the corner. I've got some black thread in the bobbin and on top. It doesn't matter, because while it can't be seen too much on the front, and you will be folding your binding over, so you won't see it at all. But same as I showed you last week for turning the corner, you just have your quilt there, take it all the way up and bring it down so your raw edge is down there again. And I always like to put a clip there. I'm going to turn it slightly, not completely all of it yet, and then start sewing. Pardon, it's not catching. I know. The reason it's not catching is because my top thread's coming out. I'll just thread up now. And I was on the corner, wasn't I? Back there. Put your presser foot down and start sewing. Whoa! Sorry about that. Hopefully I've sorted that now. Let's try it again. Right. Drop your needle and sew down. My machine is having the funnies on it. Yay! Success! Right. So, sew down. When you get to the other corners, do exactly as we've just done on that. And that's where I'm going to now. I need some time on my own. Right, I've gone all the way around and come back to my start. Now, the bit that you've got for your start, if you fold it diagonally, finger press it down, gives you a nice crease, and I didn't do that really well, but there we are. Do it again. I'm having one of those days, I don't know if you have them as well, but it's one of those days, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. But there it is. You get the bit that's gone all the way around and come back to the start. Lay it down. Where are my scissors? No. Lay it down on there. You can fold it back on itself so you can see exactly where that edge is that you folded down. So it's there. So now you just cut there. And if you pull it back, you can see there's the bit that you folded. Now all you're going to do is if you finger pressed it like I have, that crease line is exactly where you've got to sew. So as before, what I'm doing to help myself is bunch the quilt together a bit, put in a pin, get them together, and finish out, put a clip in the end that you will be trimming off, and then you can hopefully, where's my crease line? There's my crease line. Quilt's getting in the way. It's fiddly, but you could try leaving longer tails, but it just makes it fiddly that you might not have it in the right place so that your binding will fit on. So that's not quite on the line, that's on the line. Take that clip off and go diagonally down. Take the pin out of the quilt so you can and you'll see that it's starting to lay flat, so I'll trim that off. Open out my seam and stitch it down. And that's all the way, around. So now we can turn it to the front side. We'll turn the quilt, or your wall hanging in my case, to the front. And we're actually going to be turning it over. Turning the binding over. So what we actually do is you get your binding, stretch it out so it's nice and long, fold the binding up to the edge of your quilt and then fold it again, so that encloses the raw edge of the binding, but it's only one fabric layer thick. Put a clip on it. So whereas with the other one the other way we just brought it over, but if you did that on this you'd have a raw edge. So we fold it, fold the binding raw edge up to your quilt and then fold that over. And stitch it down as you did before. So I'm going to move my needle over because I like it getting it as close as I can to the edge of the binding fold. But I don't want to have only just a little bit under my presser foot, so this way I can actually follow it. And just stitch it down exactly as we did for the quilt binding last week. I do it as I'm going along. It's fold it in half so the raw edge touches your quilt. Grab it and pull that fold over, and you can see the stitch line of when you stitched it on originally from the back, so you know you go and get that covered. I am idle quilter. That's why I don't go around and press my seams open or pull them apart um, or pin it all the way around. I just do it in bits as I go. Fold it, the raw edge into the quilt and then fold that over again. And I'll carry on with all of it. Here we are with the quilt now, and as you can see, whoops, you can't, there is a lovely mitered corner on the front and one on the back, and I hope this camera's picking it up. And that is now ready to go on my wall. I haven't put hooks on it because we haven't yet decided exactly where it's going and how we're going to fix it on, but I can always either unpick the edge and put loops on, or I can do corner ones, or whatever. I can do different things and alter it so it can hang. But that's how it is. Now, another thing done. And this is one that needs sorting out and doing. But thank you. Thank you. Bye.
It's a perfect situation.